Welcome back to this module. So in this module, we will build the piano application. So let me first show you the final version of the application that we will build in this particular module. So you can see this is the application that I'm going to teach you in this particular module, how we can build it. Now, this particular application is working. If I click on any of the piano key, it's going to play the note which I already shown you in the beginning of this particular lecture. Also, we are going to implement the press functionality by using the CSS and the JavaScript. Means by combining the code of the CSS and JavaScript, we can achieve that particular press effect of the application. Now at this point of time, I'm not going to click on these keys because if I click on the key, it's going to actually disturb my entire recording system for the lecture creation. So what I mean, because I'm actually using a noise reduction software that basically removes the background noise. But if I click on any of the piano key, it's going to play the note which is very loud, which will actually disturb my recording software. So that is a reason I'm not going to click on the piano key. And believe me, this project is working because I already show you the working of the project in the beginning. Okay, so in the next part, we're going to start with the HTML part of the project. So now from this lecture onwards, we are going to start with the HTML part of the project. So you can see I have already created the required files inside the Visual Studio Code along with the linking of the files. And also I have launched the final version of the application, and I'm also going to launch the version of the application that we want to build in this particular module. So with the use of the Go Live Server extension, I have launched the project inside my Chrome browser. So you can see piano application. This will be the application that we want to build in this particular one. So here I have forgot the name, missed a typo. So now it is actually piano application. Now the first thing is we need to create a one wrapper, or I can say that a container in which we need to place the rest of the elements. And also we need to place this particular heading, which is the h1 element. So coming back to the other version of the application. So inside the index.html under the body tag, here first I am going to specify the h1 element that is going to represent the name of the application, which is piano. And after that I will be here placing the division tag that has a class name wrapper. So here we need to specify the class, and then I need to specify the wrapper. Alright, so this is a division tag, and now inside this particular division tag I need to specify another div tag, and here I need to specify the class which is going to be like piano. Alright, so this is the main class in which the keys will be placed. So again I need to create another division tag, and then I need to specify here a attribute which is actually our data node. So data, and here I need to specify the node. Now this will be the attribute used to identify a correct node element of the piano key. So what I mean with the correct node element, I also need to place one more thing. If I open nodes, so I have opened this particular one. So this is the folder structure for this particular project. So you can see I have the index.html, script.js, then style.css. Then you need to actually download this particular folder, which is the notes, as a resource section for this particular lecture, which is going to be a RAR file. Then you will get the mp3 files of these audio files of the piano node, then to use this inside the project. Alright, so after specifying the notes folder inside the project, it's time to start the code again inside the index.html. So here after this particular data node, I need to specify a class that will be used by the CSS to actually give the style. So the class is going to be key white. Then I need to here specify a span tag that will be used to display this particular label to the key. So span tag, and here I need to specify a class that is going to be like node hyphen label. So it is like our label, and after that I will be here specifying the label which is going to be like db, a small db. Right, or I can just simply check the first key. So the first key is actually our C. So here I need to specify the C. And after that I need to specify the audio tag that will going to be used to play the audio. So audio tag, and here we need to specify the source. So the source is actually our notes folder. So if I actually open my folder, you can see here, if I maximize it, then we have the notes folder, and these files are actually stored in this particular folder, which is the piano application folder. So inside this notes folder we have the mp3 files. Alright, so I need to provide the path. So here notes, then I need to provide here a / and then the name of the file, which is going to be like C3, and you can see the Visual Studio is automatically popping up the file. So it is actually a first key, which is the C key. So I need to here use the c.mp3. Alright. And after that, I need to specify the ID that will be used by the data note attribute to identify and make sure that the correct note is actually played when pressing the C key. Alright. So here again, I will be specifying the ID name, which is going to be C. Okay, so that is how the first key will be look like, and don't worry, these key structure after applying the CSS will be look like this. And then I need to copy this one and I'm going to paste it one more time. Now at this point of time, the second key is actually our DB key. So here I need to change the data node to actually D, then small b, and instead of using key white, here I need to specify the key black. Alright, and then the thing is going to be like span tag is going to be not label. Then here I need to change the label to capital D and then B, DB, and here I also need to change the ID inside the audio element, and then also the mp3 file, which is going to be like DB. Then similarly I'm going to copy it one more time and pasting it, and then it's time for the third key is going to be D. So here I will be using the like capital D. Then this one is going to be like our key white, and again I need to change the label. So label is going to be capital D, then the note is going to be capital D, and then I need to also change the ID, which is going to be capital D. So similarly I'm going to do this for the rest of the piano keys, which is actually now like 4 plus 5, which is going to be 9. So I need to repeat this process for the rest of the 9 keys as well. So I'm going to quickly do that because it is actually a repetitive task. So I don't want you to see me doing this repetitive task. So here you can see I have added the rest of the code for the piano keys. Now if I control save it, then you can see we get these kind of division tags that has these span labels, and then we also get these audio tag, and when we click on that, I want to perform the playing of the piano keys, and you can see here we have this division tag, that is the main division tag, which is the wrapper. Then we have the division tag for the piano, which is actually ending it here. The rest of them is actually used for the creation of the keys. So that marks the completion of the HTML part for this particular project, which is the piano application. So in the next part, we're going to start with the CSS part of the project. So now it's time to start with the CSS part of the project. So for that, we need to use the style.css file, and also I'm going to increase the zoom of the project a little bit so that you can see the CSS code in more clear way. Alright, so the first thing that I need to select here is the universal selector, which is going to be like box sizing to border box. Then I need to specify here padding to 0, then margin to 0. Now these are the basic properties that will basically reset the default styling of the browser. And after that, I need to here select the body element. So body, then need to start its block of the code. So inside of the body, the first thing is I need to here specify the background, that is this one, which is going to be like linear gradient. And here I need to specify the to bottom, that is this one bottom. And then I need to specify the color code, which is going to be like hash 4F008A. And after that, I need to specify the secondary color, which is going to be like hash symbol B1, okay, and 49BB. If I control save it, now you can see the gradient color is actually applied, but you can see there is a repeated pattern is actually applied. So for that, I need to here apply minimum height attribute, that is this one, which will basically fix this particular problem. And now we can see this single gradient color to the project. Alright, and after that, I need to apply the code for the h1 element, which is actually the heading, which is the piano. So here first I need to apply the text alignment to center. So you can see now the heading is actually moved to the center, and now it's time to apply the margin top, which is going to be like 50 pixel. And then I need to also apply the padding top, which is going to be 50 pixel. And then I will be applying the color, which is going to be like Alice blue color. And then I need to apply the text transform property, which is going to be like uppercase. And then I will be applying the font family. So font family is going to be like sans serif one. Now you can see the font of the h1 element is changed along with the color and the text transform properties. After that, it's time to apply the code for the wrapper. That is our main thing in which the rest of the piano thing is actually placed. Alright, So it is a class selector. So here I need to use the wrapper. So wrapper, then I need to start its block of the code. I'm also going to check the spellings. So it is actually correct. So yeah, the spellings are correct. Then first thing is I need to specify the margin top, which is going to be like 100 pixel. And then I need to specify the display, which is going to be like flex. Then justify content, which is going to be center. And then I need to specify the align items, which is going to be center. Control save it. Now you can see the all division elements is now placed to the center of the browser screen. After that, it's time to apply the code for the piano class that has all the piano keys code, that is with the combination of the span tag, division tag, and the audio tag. Coming back to style.css, so here the first thing is I'm going to specify the display to flex, which basically align all the division in a single line. So you can see here. And after that, it's time to apply the code for the each individual key class. So if I come back to index.html, so this is actually the key class. So we are going to target this one. So dot, then key, and then to start its block of the code. Instead of that, the first thing is I will be here using the height. So here I will be using the calc function, and then I will be here using the var. And instead of that, I will be specifying the width. That is this one, the formula that I have get it with the use of the internet, and then I will be here specifying the 4. Alright. And then I need to calculate the width, that is this one. Again, I will be using the var function. Instead of that, I will be specifying the width. So after applying the width property, it's time to apply the transition property. Now these are the things I'm actually doing so that we can actually get the press effect whenever we click on the piano key. Now I'm not going to click on the piano key, because if I click it, then the entire recording is actually gets corrupted because of the software. So that is the reason. And also I am actually using the filters inside my microphone for the recording purpose. So that is the reason I'm not going to click it. In the beginning of the module, I have showed you how the press effect is actually working for this particular application. Now coming back to the style.css, inside the transition, here I need to use the background color. So background, and then I need to use the hyphen color. Then I need to specify the duration, which is going to be 0.2s, and then I need to specify the ease. So this is a transition. Whenever we press the key, then we want to perform the transition, then the position is going to be relative. And after that, it's time to apply the code for the white key. So inside of the white, because we have the class key and then we have the white key. So now we are actually targeting the white class. Here first I'm going to specify the width. So again, I will be here using the CSS variables technique. So actually why it is giving the error. Actually I have used here a semicolon, yes. So width, then colon. And here I will be using the width, and instead of using this one, I will be here using the 100 pixel. Okay, so if I do that, then you can see now the width is actually applied to the white keys. And then I need to use the background, which is going to be this one. And then again, I need to use the linear gradient. At this point of time, it is going to be like to bottom, and specify the comma, and then I need to specify the color, which is going to be white 6 times F, and then I need to also specify the color, which is F3, F3 and F3. Now you can see some of the keys gets the color. It's time to actually apply the border also to these white keys. So border is going to be like 1 pixel solid border, and then I need to define the color, which is going to be like 3 times 3, which is gives the black border solid. Alright, and then I need to get the rounded corners. So for that, I will be using the border radius property. So 0 pixel from top left corner and 0 pixel from top right corner, and from the bottom I need a 10 pixel roundness from both left and right. Control save it. Now you can see we get the rounded corners to the piano key. If I zoom out a little bit, then you will see the everything more clearly. Then I need to change the color, which is the font color, because for the white keys I need to use the black color. Control save it. Then you can see our labels is now getting the color. Okay, and now it's time to apply a pseudo selector again with this particular white key. So white hyphen then the active. Now this will be the class used by the JavaScript. Alright, so we are going to use this particular class inside the JavaScript so that we can apply a press effect. So 3 times C. And now the similar code I need to apply for the black one also. So here now it's time to add the black class for the black keys. So these are the same properties is going to be used. Then I'm going to copy the same properties, or I can just simply type it, because if I made any typo, it's going to be give us a lot of problem. So here I need to first use the width hyphen, then the width is going to be 60 pixel for the black keys. And then if I control save it, Then you can see the width for the black case is actually applied, and after that I will be applying background color. So again I need to use the background, then the linear gradient function, then it is going to be like 2 bottom. Then again I need to here specify the color code. So here at this point of time 6 times 0 gives us a dark black color, and then 3 times 3 gives us a little grayish color of the black. Alright, and after that I will be using here a margin left and right property, because we need to style the code in this particular way. So for that we need to calculate these values. So margin from left, then I will be using the calculation function, then where, and inside of the where I need to specify the width. So width, now how I come up with these values, actually I research on the internet a lot, and then I'm actually cross and hit and trial by applying the code multiple times. Then I will actually use this particular line of the code. Now I'm going to quickly duplicate this particular line of the code, and here instead of using margin left I'll be using the margin right. So margin right, then it's going to use the same procedural code. Now if I control save it, you can see now the keys are actually look like in this particular way. Okay, and then I need to actually apply the z index property, which is going to be 2. So it's actually at the top of the white keys, and after that I will be using the border radius so that we can get the rounded corners. So from the top left and top right I don't want any roundness. From the bottom I want 8 pixel, and also from the right side I want the 8 pixel rounded corners. You can see here I get the rounded corners, and after that we need to apply the color. So inside the black one we want a white color to our labels. So now you can see our application is now almost similar to the final version of the project. Okay, so you can see it's almost similar. The only thing is in the final version the labels are actually appearing at the bottom, where in our version the labels are actually appearing at the top left corner. Okay, so we need to fix that, which is done next step for this particular CSS code. So here I need to use the note hyphen label, then to start its block of the code. Alright, so instead of that, font size I need to use it 12 pixel, and then I need to see color. So color is going to be, I will be using the inherit one. Okay, and then I will be using the position, which is going to be like absolute, and after that I will be here using the bottom, because now we have used the position parameter, so we can use the bottom, which is going to be 0, and from the left I need to also apply the property from left, which is going to be like 50%. If I control save it, now you can see these codes are now appearing at the bottom inside these particular keys. Then I need to also apply one more thing, which is going to be like transform. So transform, and then here I will be using the translate x function. Instead of that I need to specify the minus 50%. If I do that, now it's actually looking perfect, exactly same as the final version of the application. And the last thing again I need to specify, which is going to be key.active, that will be used by the browser, and also I need to create the active version of the black one. So I'm going to copy this one, or I can just simply type it here. So dot black underscore means colon, and then I need to specify the active. This will be used inside the JavaScript. So it is like background color, and then I need to specify the hash symbol 3 times 3. And similarly I need to also create a active class for the key. So it is like key.active, and then to start its block of the code, instead of that I need to specify the transform being translate x, not translate x, we need to use it translate y, because we want to create the press effect on the y axis in a vertical order. So I need to actually create a press effect of 4 pixel. If I control save it, nothing is going to happen, because we have not set any listener to the code, because we are going to use this particular class whenever we click on the button. So that's it for the CSS part of the project. In the next part we're going to start with the JavaScript part. So now it's time to start with the JavaScript part for the project. So first we need to select all the keys. So for that I will be here using the const, then keys, then this is going to be equal to document dot query selector all function. We have more than one key, so that is the reason we need to use the query selector all, because the class is actually key for all of the division elements. And after that we need to create the variables for the corresponding white and black keys. So white keys, then this is going to be equal to document dot query selector all, and then here I need to use the class, which is going to be like dot key, and then I need to also specify the white. which is going to be dot white. Then I'm going to copy this one and then I will be pasting it here and now changing the variable name to black. And then also I need to change it here like black. So now we have the reference to keys, white keys and black keys. Now it's time to set the listener to the keys. So for that I will be here using the for each syntax. So it is like keys dot for each method, and then instead of that I will be using the key which is for all the keys. Then I will be using the arrow syntax, then key dot add event listener, and then I need to specify the listener. So I want to listen to the click listener, and then I need to here provide the callback which is going to be like handle key click. Okay, so this will be the callback, and now we need to define this particular handle key click function. So it is like handle key click, then to start its block of the code and then start its body. Instead of that I will be calling the play key function by passing the this. Alright, and now it's time to define this particular play key function. So it is like play key function. So function, then it is going to like play key, then to start its block of the code, and this particular one is going to accept the key. So here this represents the key that we have pressed. Alright, now it's time to actually specify the code inside the play key function, which will be the main function responsible for playing the key notes. So the first thing is I need to here create a variable which is of type const key audio is equal to, then here I will be using the document dot get element by id, and then I need to here specify the key dot data set, that is this one, and then I need to specify the node. Now according to the attribute, that is this one, it is going to identify the correct node when we click on the button. Alright, so whenever we click on the C, then it's going to perform the C node instead of specifying a separate listener to the function, means each key. Alright, so here after doing this key audio variable, it's time to actually specify the current time that will be used to resetting the play time to the beginning and play the audio again. So here I need to do what? I need to use the key audio dot current time, that is this one, current time dot means current time equals to 0, and after that I need to use the key audio dot play function. So we need to call this particular play function. If I control save it, now we will able to see the audio, but I'm not going to click this particular one right now because it's going to give me the problem. Instead I'm going to record it separately and then I will be added it to the video. So now you can see our piano application notes is actually playing perfectly. Now the only thing is that whenever we click on the button, we also want to perform the press effect of the application. So for that, we need to add some more code inside this play key function. So after this key audio.play, here I will need to use the key, that is this particular variable, which is actually at the top, that is this one, keys, and because it is actually added the listener by using the keys, that is this one, and we have passed it as a parameter to this play key function. So we are going to use this particular argument, that is key, which is a local variable for this particular function. So key dot class list dot add, and then I'm going to here add the active class which we have created inside the CSS. So once we add that particular class, we also need to remove it, because if we didn't remove it, then it's going to actually stick with that particular press effect of the key functionality. So for that, we need to listen to the ended event of the key. So here I will be using the key audio, because the audio is actually played by using this one, means the key audio variable, and the press effect will be applied to the key, because we also need to apply the press effect to the both black and white keys. That is the reason here we are using the key audio variable dot add event listener, and then we need to listen to the ended event, that is this one, and then we need to here provide the callback. So I will be here using the arrow function, then to start its block of the code. Alright, instead of that, what I want to do, I just want to simply remove the listener, means remove the class that we have added to the keys. So key dot class list, that is again we are using the class list, and then we need to use the remove function. So when the audio is completely played, then we want to remove the class which is the active class. So it is like our active, and if I now terminate that, means if I control save it, and now if I click on any of the button, it's going to perform the press effect. So I'm going to edit that part of the video inside this particular lecture so that you can see it, because if I click on it, then the entire recording gets simply corrupted because of these softwares that I'm using for the recording of the lecture. See, now the press effect for the piano application is also working. So that marks the completion of this particular project, which is the piano application. So I hope you like this particular module. So if you like this module, then leave your review, because your review motivates me to create more awesome content like this. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you very much.